Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A CloudFoundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
Let's discuss regarding Clipboard today. Today we'll discuss regarding Clipboard and if possible, let's discuss regarding properties also. How to create a property and what are the types of properties. Clipboard. Clipboard acts as an interface between your UI screen. There is an UI, right? You have an UI screen. What is an UI? When you are working in any application, the portal which you're working is called UI, the user interface. Clipboard will act as an interface between UI and your database. Suppose if you have your application, that is your screen, and you will be having Clipboard in between Clipboard, and you will be having DB database. Now, whatever the data you are entering on a screen, what are the data the user is entering on the screen? That data will be present on Clipboard. And from Clipboard, the data will get persisted into the database. Here you just understand. The clipboard acts as an intermediator or a clipboard acts as an interface which will store the temporary data, like it contains both temporary and permanent data. The data will be persisted into the database only if it is present on a clipboard. If suppose the data is not present on a clipboard, the data will not get stored on a database. And also when you are fetching or when you are browsing the data, when you are fetching or browsing the data what happens from the database? The data must be first captured on a clipboard. And this data has to be shown on a screen. If suppose you have any defect, like you suppose some value is missing for a property or in a table, then first what you have to do? You have to verify whether the data is present on a clipboard or not. If the data is present on a clipboard, you cannot show the data on screen. I think you have got a basic idea. What is a clipboard? Let me repeat it once again. The clipboard acts as an interface between your UI and your database. Whatever the data you are entering on your UI, that data will be first stored on a clipboard as a temporary memory, and then it will be persisted into database. Similarly, when you are loading a screen or when you are browsing or fetching any data, first the data which is present on a DB will be stored onto a clipboard. It may be a single record or it may be a list of records. It will be stored onto a clipboard and from clipboard it will be loaded onto your screen. The data cannot directly show from a DB to screen. It has to be stored on a clipboard first of all, and then it will actually shown on the screen. Let me show you the clipboard, how actually clipboard looks like. Let me open up a clipboard. In the bottom you will be having a clipboard here. If you click on that, this is a clipboard. See, if you saw a clipboard here, in clipboard what you will be having? You will be having a threads. You will be having threads. You have to be in a proper thread to see the data. If suppose if you click on a thread, You see how many threads you have. You have these threads. These are the threads which you are opening it here in the background. See, you have opened a property instances here. The property thread came here. There's a property thread. Like that. Whatever the instances or whatever the things you are opening in the background, those many threads will be formed here. Those many threads will be formed here. Let me create a case. Let me create a case and see how actually the data is present on the clipboard and all. Let me launch a portal. This is a Google application which PEGA has provided. We haven't created any application. This is a PEGA which PEGA has provided for educational purpose. This application basically is a PEGA is a PEGA. This application does is like whenever if your vehicle has been any breakdown, like due to some FRAT error or some Indian problem, you will raise a service request to customer care or some roadside assistance rate. That is this assistance application. I was just trying to create one case. Can I ask about this video? I realized to mention reach out loud and no amber and pink, Monsieur, the symbol, and this is M. Thank you. Now what we have done as a user, we have created a case. Now the information which user has provided, that information has to be stored in the background. That information has to be stored on a background. See what is a case ID? This is a case ID. You can see here on the top the case ID 8001. This is a case ID. And a case ID is a unique ID. For each and every, it is actually similar to your Amazon. If you placed any order, it would be similar to your order ID. It is a unique identifier case ID. Let us see in the clipboard how the data is being stored. If I open a clipboard from here, it will open this particular thread. Let us see the difference. If I open a clipboard from here, it will open a thread of A1001 because we are on a context of here. You can see on the background we are opening from here. It has opened this particular thread. If suppose I have opened the same clipboard from here, on which context? Where we are on property construct. We are on property context thread. If you open a clipboard from here, it will open a property. It will open a property. What we have to do from where? You can actually open from anywhere. But if you want to see any related information, you have to switch the thread. You can see here we have our A1001 also. You have to switch your thread. If you switch your thread, you will get this particular case related information. Now this is how clipboard looks like. Now the case related information. All the case related information will be present on a page. See, in Clipboard, everything is called up pages. Generally, we have 4 types of pages. We will discuss regarding this. We have 4 types of pages. If I expand the user pages, see, everything in a clipboard is called a page. This is called a page. If you click on that, you can see the data here. This is called a page. See, everything in Clipboard is called a page. Page contains properties. This is a property. This is a page. The name of the page is declare_case_tree. And the page contains a property. Property holds a value. Value is nothing but a data. Let me write it down. Clipboard contains pages. Pages contains properties. Properties holds the data. Holds the data. These 3 points you can easily visualize, right? If you open a clipboard, the clipboard contains many pages on the left side. These are all the pages. Now, if you click on each page, you will be having a properties. Suppose if I have opened this page, this is a code PEGA list. You have to expand. This is a list of pages. That's why you have the embedded list here. This is called a page list, and it holds a list of records. If you click on, if you have expanded this one, you can see you have a list of records here. Some properties are there. Some properties are there. And for some properties, some values are associated with. You can see this is the page name. This is the page name. If I click on any other page, let's see if suppose this is also code PEGA list. If I click on this PY portal page, see this PY portal page. This is a clipboard page. This page has properties and this properties holds a value. See, we have 3 types of properties. That's one that 2 will discuss. We have PX, PY and PZ properties. PX properties are like we can only read the data. We can read the data. Read the data. We cannot actually write the data into it. PZPY properties are like we can both read and write. Read and write in the sense we can modify the data. We can actually read what the data is present in it, and we can also modify that data. PZ properties are like PZ properties are like it is for PEGA's internal process. PEGA uses those properties for internal processing. Let me show you the example. Suppose we have a PX. Let me open any PX property. See, you have a PX create operator. What is a PX create operator? The operator who has created the case. I have logged in as an author. The PX create operator name has came as an author. This value, I cannot modify this value. You can only read the value. Like read the value means you cannot, or you cannot change this author to something like A, B, C. Like that, you cannot modify. Like you cannot write the value. You can only read. If suppose you have a PY label here, PY label. This PY label you can modify. You can modify the value in using some rules. You can modify the data present in this PY label. And you have PZ also. You can see PZ also. See, there are some PZ properties also. In the below, you can see it. PZ has web analytics. These PZ properties will be used for PEGA internal processing. Mostly, we will not use all the PZ properties. We will only use very few PZ properties. We will use some PZ properties like PZ DNS key will be there. That is an important PZ properties which we will use. PZ, PY and PZ. We will see when we have discussed regarding our property concepts. Then we will see these types of properties. Now all your case related information. See, Clipboard contains many pages. All your case related information will be present in a page called PY work page. This is an important page where you can see all your case related information. You remember the name. The name is PY work page. Let me write it down here. PY work page holds all your case related info. Now let me show you. If I switch the thread to any other one, if I switch the thread to property, you cannot find the PY work page here. You cannot find the PY work page here because this is not a case related information. The property the thread which you have opened is something different. This is not your case. PY work page will only present on your case related data, like which it is only present on your case related thread. If I switch it to this thread, if I come down, you can see there is a PY work page. If you click on PY work page, you can see these are all your case related information. You can see our case ID also. And if you expand the PY work page, it contains many internal pages. These are called embedded pages. Whatever the pages that is present inside one page, those pages are called embedded pages. You can see we have a PY work page and we have PID. D is a case ID. PID is a property which holds a case ID. You see the name P, right? PY in the sense you can modify the case ID as you want. Like it must be unique value, but you can modify. PEGA has given you a privilege that you can modify the data. You can see you have given a PLID, and if you click on customer ID, see when I was creating a case. When I have creating a case, I have selected a customer name as Thomas. The data which I have selected on screen, the data is present on a clipboard, right? You understand what I am trying to say. See, I have selected MasterCard while creating a case. The card type has came as MasterCard. See in vehicle information what I have selected. I have selected a vehicle type as a Hyundai and vehicle make as a 2020. And alright, let's see whether the data is present or not. Vehicle color, make, model. Everything is present on a clipboard. You understand it. What I have told you here. Whatever the data you are entering on screen. Whatever the data you are entering on the screen. The data will first come into a clipboard and then it will get stored onto a database. That's what I am trying to show here. Whatever the data I have entered on screen, that data is present on a clipboard here. Pages. These are all the pages. Vehicle information is a page. On that page, we have a properties called these properties, color, make, model. And these are the data. You understand the PBLA work page. PBLA work page is a page which holds all our case related information. Now let's discuss the types of pages. We have 4 types of pages here. This is an interview question. We have 4. What are the types of pages in a clipboard? Interview question. Note it down. We have 4 types of pages. User pages, linked property pages, system pages. First, let's discuss regarding user pages and system pages. And going forward, we will discuss about remaining other 2. User pages. User pages are like that. If you expand the user pages, the data that is present in a user pages is related to the user information and a case information. Like user information, that is related to the case information. If you speak pinpointedly, the data that is present under user pages category is related to case information. You can see inside the user pages only. You have this PEGA work page, which has a case related data, or the data that is present under user pages is related to your case. It is actually helpful for your case processing. If you want to process your case, all the data will be stored under user pages. And you have system pages. System pages holds the data of system related pages. System related pages in the sense, the node, the server on which it is hosting, what is the database it is pointed to, and which operator has been logged into this portal. All the system related data will be present under system pages. If you expand the system pages, you can see there is a page called operator ID. There is a page called operator ID. I have logged in as an author. My operator ID name is author. If we click on this operator ID page, you can see here, what is my? There will be pvole user ID. There will be one property, pvole user identity. What is my operator name? By using which email address I have logged in. I have logged in with this email address. And what is my username? My username is author. And you can see the server node related details also. That will be present on Requestor. I guess PEGA request. See, you can see the agent. There will be much data that is actually related to the backend. Like backend, that will be related to your server. Those details are not necessary for you at this point of time, but you can actually visualize all the data related to your system under system pages. You can see what is a node, what is a requester ID, a requester ID in the sense who is actually requesting the session. This is a particular session. These authentication details and all, those are currently not much useful for you. Let's focus on the remaining other parts. But actually you have understood the basic difference. What is the difference between user pages and system pages? User pages holds your case related information. System pages holds your information that is related to your server, your authentication, the operator ID, who has logged in. It has the system related data. You can see here, security snapshot. These are all something called security related, the authentication related, because all the client are much focused on security part, because the PEGA will be mainly used on banking sector, bank, insurance, and healthcare sector. Banking sector is much focused on security part, all authentications, all the security related information you can find in system pages. If you have configured any SSO or if you have configured any authentication profiles, those authentication related things, you can find it in the system. And remaining two pages, the data pages and linked property pages, we will not discuss now in coming sessions. While discussing regarding data pages, say, do you have got a basic idea on Clipboard? What is a clipboard? How to open a clipboard? How to change a thread here? If you keep a particular thread, only you can visualize the correct data. If you are in a wrong thread, you cannot see the exact information. You have to look into the thread. The case related data will be present on pvole work page. you can expand the PULA work page. And you can see, I think you both guys are working in an application, right? Whenever the session is done, you try to create a case in your application and open a PULA work page and see all the case related information. There will be many pages. This is a small application. It has only customer ID, vehicle information, payment information. Few pages only it has. But generally, applications will be having a lot more pages, like a lot more individual pages inside a PULA work page. You just go through your application today. Open your PULA work page and see and understand how actually the data is present on a clipboard. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.